was a great win. We executed the game plan, both ends of the floor. We were so focused. I could tell because they were talking about game plans and schemes amongst themselves, that we were just kind of dialing up shots, and because they were so locked in, it was a great team win. We were good on the floor defensively. We were great on the rebounds. We knew if we could hold them to sit in the 60s, we had a shot, and we held them in the 50s. Held them 19 in the second half, and it was just defensive efficiency that led to good and easy offense.
Is that your all's most complete performance of the year?
Maybe, I don't know. I forget. Maybe it was. We showed some maturity. Shayna showed maturity. We talked about the play where she drove in and wheeled and threw it back to KB for just the three, and she's grown up in the last month, 2 months, whatever it is. I don't know. T looked so springy in the first half. She looked like, she was fresh, and I thought we looked tired in the first half. The shots didn't go down, but I basically at halftime I just didn't go in there. I was just kind of letting them rest, and then we went in there at 3.5 minutes and said, we're going to get beat at home, let's go. And we went out there and executed game plan, and it felt complete. It felt complete because they didn't go away.
Matt, you made them a little crazy with your slowdown. They obviously wanted to grab it and run, and that helped your team as well, as you talked about being a little winded or whatever it was.
Tony actually made that call. We were just resting ours.
Right.
We wanted to make sure we got to the fourth quarter with the lead, not having to use the timeout, keep the clock running, so they couldn't scheme on all that. And if my staff says something, I usually do it. I got a great staff, so and if we make a mistake, that's my decision. I'll gamble with my staff all the time. So and then we were executing whatever we got, and then it allowed us. We knew where the shot was going to come from, so we could get back in transition defense, and that helps. When you know what's coming, it just helps on any test, whether it's that game or chemistry.
Early in the third, they got a steal and had a really good look at three, and I think it rimmed out that would have given them the lead. You all come back down and hit a three. How big was it not to let them over the hump and just to keep them at arm's length? Because I think from there you all went on like a 5 or 8 point run and stretched out.
Yeah, I think we do a pretty good job of being solid. So even if they do take the lead, I'm not sure we do a very good job of checking time and score anyway. So I'm not sure it would have mattered to this group because we've done some things, time and score, that I don't necessarily agree with, that we try to teach. So I don't know if it would have made a big difference or not, but we were pretty resilient, and shots didn't go down in the first half. They did in the second half, and we were better. But I knew shots were going to go down, and even if we didn't shoot bad balls in the first half, they just didn't go. And even if they didn't go, we were going to shoot them in the second half because we're going to shoot good balls. If they don't go, they don't go.
To your energy to start the game, what is that a mindset thing? What is the difference in starting out with that much energy? Because that's the most I've seen you have in a long time.
I think I was just happy that I made it to the new year. So.
Listen, these are great sound bites. These are great sound bites. Yes, it is mentality with Toledo. I'll answer that. It is mentality. Everything's mentality with Toledo. Everything. And her mentality was great. It was great. And so was her energy, and so was our team's play. And she has a big part to do with that. Huge part to do with that.
Getting that first block, it was a pretty emphatic projection. How much did that help you on the offensive end of the court early?
When I get defensive stops, it just really boosts my offensive game. So anything that I can do to help my team defensively just makes me better and makes the team better.
Did you ever think you'd come out for a second quarter saying "shake it off"?
Shayna, being a scorer, I know you're not happy with 2 of 11 from 3, but still, what was it that they were doing on offense that allowed you to come up with steals in the second half? Because it seemed like you were anticipating the plays, and I don't know if that's what you practiced or what you looked at on tape, or maybe both.
I was just on defense doing my job. If you play the corner, we block and get out, and that's what I was doing. I just happened to get my hands on the balls, just executing the game plan on offense and defense. And my three-point shot, I just let it come. If it's not going down, I just take it to the basket, get a bucket there, whatever the defense gives me.
Shana, just curious, it's a 1-point game at halftime. How much was it in the second half? I noticed Coach lost his coat, lost his tie. Was it appearance on the floor or appearance on the sideline in the second half? Because it was, I wrote down and said, Coach is missing a tie in his coat in the second
No, I
half, and
just
all of a
got
sudden you
tired.
ran off and,
No,
which way?
Most of the time, I'm gonna lose my coat at halftime, and I don't know if my weight's up or what, but my neck it was a little tight, it felt a little tight. And, it may have been nerves too, but I mean, I literally walked in there and said, we're gonna do this on this set, we don't get beat at home, let's go.
So there's no correlation.
No, I mean, our players are growing up, like today, now our players are young, so tomorrow could be different. But I'll take them anywhere I can get them.
How did the non-conference schedule help you all with their length and athleticism today? You feel like it did? Because I haven't seen a team that long and athletic, especially outside in a while here. And I was like, maybe this is just me sitting in a different seat there.
Yeah, like playing Illinois, playing North Carolina, playing Penn State, I mean,
I just forgot how big they were. Like last year, I was just some freshmen, but this year I just felt like the guards, I just forgot how big they were in conference play.
I mean, Cedeno, 15, their tallest player on the floor probably was two guard, But that's the reason we scheduled the way we did, is to learn a lot about ourselves this year, and I think we're learning a lot. And we got more lessons to learn. I think we learned lessons today, but, more often than not, you learn more lessons in losses than you do wins. Winning just allows you to feel normal for a day, before you prepare for the next one. But I think we are learning about ourselves, and I think we're growing up in some areas, and some areas we need to keep improving. But that's life.
when you put 15 on 15, I mean, it seemed like watching her body language, she went crazy that you were going to guard her with somebody who was barely 5 foot even.
Yeah.
And she did become discombobulated, I thought, while she was trying to get away and couldn't get away because she wasn't fast enough.
Listen, I played at a small stature. I don't care anything about that. And Tana gave us a good lift off the bench. She's still coming off her ankle injury, so she's not full go yet, but she gave us a good lift and allowed us to rest Kinsey there for a break. And I don't know, we'll try anything. We'll try anything. We drew 3 plays up in the dirt. Not really the dirt, but on the fly. But that's just what we're going to do.
Switching up the defensive look early in the third quarter, how much did that help just get them out of that rhythm that they had built?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Our players wanted to change the scheme in the man. And I could tell when they were talking about that at halftime, sometimes they don't tell me all that stuff. They'll go to the staff first because they don't want to read my face. And then they told, maybe in Shana, that told Tony what they want to do on a scheme. A minute left on the clock before the ball goes in bounds. And I said, all right, then if you want to do that, then we got to do this, this, and this, and we did it. But if they're that bought in, it's their deal. It's their lessons to learn. I learn lessons a different way. It's their lessons to learn. So, but if they're bought in, they're accountable too. So, they were pretty locked in.
All good?
Happy New Year.
Yep.